Hey everyone, I'm Travis Spivey, joined with my son,
Jordan Spivey, and if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our awesome science videos. Also, scan the QR code in the top left corner of the screen to contact us and explore more of our awesome content and material.
In today's video, we will explore the chemical and physical properties of the different aquatic ecosystems found in Georgia. So let's do this.
Our learning target for today is, I can describe and explain the chemical and physical properties of aquatic ecosystems in Georgia. Georgia contains several aquatic ecosystems including streams, rivers, ponds, lakes, wetlands, marshes, swamps, estuaries, and the open ocean. In today's video, we will explore the chemical and physical properties of each and other factors that may impact these ecosystems. Let's start off with streams and rivers.
The state of Georgia contains several rivers. These rivers include the Altamaha River, Chattahoochee River, Coosa River, Flint River, Ocklawaha River, Oconee River, Okmulgee River, Sotilia River, Savannah River, St. Mary's River, Suwannee River, Tallapoosa River, and Tennessee River. Whew, now that's a lot of rivers. The rivers are made up of streams, which are bodies of fresh water that flow downhill in a channel. The channel of a stream has a bottom or bed and sides called banks. Any sized body of flowing water can be called a stream. Usually though, a large stream is called a river. All streams and rivers have several features in common. The place where a stream or river starts is its source or headwaters. The source might be a spring where water flows out of the ground, or the source might be water from melting snow on a mountaintop like the following stream. A stream or river ends at its mouth where it flows into a body of water such as a lake or an ocean. As the stream flows into the body of water, the current slows down and drops the sediment it was carrying. The sediment may build up to form a delta. If the mouth of a stream flows into the ocean, it forms an estuary, where the mixing of fresh and salt water creates unique ecosystems. The water flowing in the streams and rivers is fresh water. It contains less than 1% salt. Chemical waste products from industrial processes are sometimes accidentally discharged into Georgia's streams and rivers. Examples of such pollutants include cyanide, zinc, lead, copper, cadmium, and mercury. These substances may enter the water in such high concentrations that fish and other animals are killed immediately. Now let's check out ponds and lakes.
The state of Georgia also contains several ponds and lakes. In this video, we're going to focus on the lakes, which include Lake Oconee, Lake Lanier, Tula Falls Lake, Blue Ridge Lake, Lake Allatoona, Lake Seminole, Lake Raboon, Lake Chattooge, Russell Lake, Lake Blackshear, Lake Burton, Carter's Lake, and Lake Tobosoffke. Lakes are important habitats for many plants and animals. The slow motions of the water are easier for organisms to live in than the water from rapidly moving streams. Some animals live on land but get at least part of their food from lakes or ponds. For example, the eagle is fishing for its meal. After a heavy rain, you may find puddles of water standing in low spots. The same principles explain why water collects in ponds and lakes. Water travels downhill, so a depression or sunken portion in the ground fills with standing water. A pond is a small body of water. A lake is a large body of water. Most lakes have fresh water, but a few are salty. The water in a large lake may be so deep that sunlight cannot penetrate all the way down to the bottom. Without sunlight, water, plants, and algae cannot live on the bottom of the lake. That's because plants need sunlight for photosynthesis. Ponds and lakes may get their water from several sources. Some of the water falls directly into them as precipitation. Some enter as runoff, and some from streams and rivers. Water leaves ponds and lakes through evaporation and also as outflow. The most important chemicals in a lake are nitrogen and phosphorus. These chemicals allow nutrient-rich plants and algae to grow. Other organisms feed off these plants and algae, creating a complex, healthy ecosystem. The chemistry of a lake is affected by biological, geological, and human processes. Now let's take a look at wetlands, marshes, and swamps.
Many different types of wetlands exist in Middle Georgia. There are approximately 7 million acres of wetlands in Georgia overall. Wetlands are lands that are wet for significant periods of time. They are common where water and land meet. Wetlands can be large flat areas or relatively small and steep areas. Wetlands are rich and unique ecosystems with many species that rely on both the land and the water for survival. Only specialized plants are able to grow in these types of conditions. Wetlands tend to have a great deal of biological diversity. Wetland ecosystems can also be fragile systems that are sensitive to the amount and quality of water present within them. Wetlands are extremely important biomes for several reasons. First, they store excess water from floods. Second, they slow down runoff and prevent erosion. Third, they remove excess nutrients from runoff before it empties into rivers or lakes. Fourth, they provide a unique habitat that certain communities of plants need to survive. Fifth, they provide a safe, lush habitat for many species of animals, so they have high biodiversity. An important chemical function of wetlands is that they protect surface waters from the problems of nutrient overload by removing excess nutrients. Some of these chemicals are taken up and used by wetland plants and converted to less harmful chemical forms in the soil.
Marshes are shallow wetlands around lakes, streams, or the ocean where grasses and reeds are common but trees are not. Frogs, turtles, muskrats, and many variety of birds are at home in marshes. A swamp is a wetland with many trees and vines found in low-lying areas besides slow-moving rivers. Like marshes, they are frequently or always flooded with water. Since the water in a swamp moves slowly, oxygen in the water is often scarce. Swamp plants and animals must be adapted for these low oxygen conditions. Like marshes, swamps can be freshwater, saltwater, or a mixture of both. The difference between swamps and marshes is that swamps are largely forested with many trees, while marshes have few, if any, trees, but are home to grasses and herbaceous plants. The largest swamp in North America, the Okefenokee Swamp, covers roughly 700 square miles and is located in the southeastern corner of Georgia, encompassing most of the Charlton and Ware counties and parts of Brantley and Clinch counties. Now let's talk about Georgia's estuaries and their connection to the open ocean.
An estuary is a partially enclosed coastal water body where fresh water from rivers and streams mixes with salt water from the ocean. Estuaries are an essential component to Georgia's ecological landscape. Their waters are typically brackish, which is a mixture of fresh water draining from the land and salty seawater. This unique combination of salty and fresh water creates a variety of habitats. Running along the state's eastern seaboard, estuaries are rich wildlife reserves. More than 70% of fishes and crustaceans used for commercial and recreational purposes in Georgia live in estuaries, and up to 80% of the state's wildlife depends on them. The five major rivers, St. Mary's, Savannah, Altamaha, Ogeechee, and the Cecilia River in Georgia connect estuaries to the Atlantic Ocean.
And that's our video for today. Now it's your now to see how proficient you are with describing and explaining the chemical and physical properties of aquatic ecosystems in Georgia by taking our video quiz.
Use your electronic device to scan the QR code at the top right of the screen, or you can click the link in the description box below the video to take the quiz.
Remember, 80% or higher for proficiency. Record your associate proficiency sheet, and if you don't get it the first time,
you better keep going because it's not over until you win. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, click that bell icon, and also scan this QR code to contact us and explore more of our awesome content and material. Peace and have a positive, productive day. Want some help? Yeah. I'm Batman.